Have you ever felt that your spiritual journey is unique, yet at the same time, difficult for the people around you to understand? Spiritual awakening can be something grand, but it can also be lonely. As you advance on your path, it's normal to notice that often the world around you is no longer aligned with your purpose. The people, situations, and even the connections that once made sense begin to unravel, and discomfort arises. This is a clear sign that you are in a transformation process, being shaped for something greater. When you are chosen, your mission is unlike any other. You carry a deep and powerful purpose, something that goes beyond the common understanding of others. This can sometimes lead to misunderstanding, criticism, and even detachment. But what you need to understand is that the true path of the chosen requires discretion. As you move towards your greater purpose, you will need to know when to share your journey and when to keep your evolution in silence. This doesn't mean hiding who you are, but rather protecting your energy and maintaining your focus on what truly matters: your spiritual growth and alignment with your purpose. In this video, we will discuss the importance of discretion for the chosen. We will understand why the secret is not in hiding your journey, but in knowing when, how, and with whom to share it. With this, you will be able to strengthen your path and allow your internal transformation to manifest fully and powerfully. Throughout this journey, many doors close, and people may distance themselves. It's not about losing or failing. It's about evolving and being true to yourself. You do not need to explain or justify your steps to others. What matters is the trust in your mission and the focus on what you came here to do. So if you are ready to understand more about how discretion can be the key to your spiritual success, keep watching and prepare for a significant change. In the end, if you identified with this video and want to know more about how to follow this path with wisdom, don't forget to follow the channel. With each step, more knowledge and insights will emerge to help you continue on this journey of evolution. Each person has a unique journey in life. When you connect with your purpose, the path you travel becomes even more distinct and personal. Often, this path does not fit society's expectations, which insists on placing labels and standards on how life should be lived. As you move toward what is truly yours, something natural happens. Some people will distance themselves. This may seem painful at first, but it is a fundamental part of the process. Not everyone will understand your choices, and not everyone will see the greatness of your purpose. And that's okay. In fact, it is even necessary. It is important to understand that the spiritual journey and the search for purpose are not about pleasing others or seeking external approval. The connections you lose along the way are part of a natural filtering process. What is not at your vibration level simply cannot be by your side anymore. And this is not a negative thing. On the contrary, it is a clear sign that you are evolving. The people who distance themselves are often those who are still trapped in old patterns, in a limited way of thinking. They may even try to pull you back to your comfort zone, ask for explanations, or be bothered by the changes you are experiencing. But your path is different, and that should be respected. You should not blame yourself for following your own path. Every human being has their unique mission. We cannot expect everyone to share the same vision or understand our journey. Sometimes the wisest thing is simply to let people go their own way without trying to convince them of what you are living. The secret to maintaining inner peace and moving forward is learning not to worry about others' opinions. You are already on a path that few have the courage to tread. This journey is not easy, and the need to make difficult choices will intensify. You need to be strong and stay focused. The loss of connections is not your failure, but an evolution of your process. What no longer resonates with your essence needs to move away, The universe is simply aligning you with the people and situations that are at the same level of consciousness and vibrational frequency as you. And when this happens, you feel lighter and more aligned with your true purpose. The most important thing is that you stay true to yourself. Let the people around you find themselves in their own time. You are not obligated to explain or justify your choices. What you are experiencing is something deeply spiritual, and only those who are on the same path will be able to understand. Therefore, when you notice that some connections begin to unravel, do not feel that you are doing something wrong. On the contrary, celebrate. This is a sign that you are moving in the right direction, focused on your own evolution. Be patient with yourself and with others, allowing the process to happen naturally. Remember, your journey is yours. It doesn't matter who is by your side or who moves away. What really matters is that you are being true to your purpose, and that is what will guide you to true fulfillment. One of the greatest challenges during the spiritual journey is the temptation to explain every decision or step you take. When you try to justify your choices, you end up directing your energy towards something that will not bring positive results. You find yourself caught in a cycle of explanations that do not help transform the situation, but only wear you down emotionally. Often, the people around you, still trapped in the matrix, cannot comprehend your purpose. They live within a limited reality, where social norms and expectations define their actions. These people may even try to question your path, seek answers for something they do not understand, or even try to convince you that you are doing something wrong. But the truth is that these people are at a different stage of consciousness. They do not perceive that you are elevating to a higher level, and their criticisms or questions may actually reflect more about their insecurities than about your journey. By trying to explain yourself, you only put yourself in an uncomfortable position, attempting to make something that cannot be understood, be understood. The key here is not to fall into the trap of constant explanation. Over-explaining will not change the view of those who are trapped in the matrix. It will only generate more confusion and frustration. People who are not ready to see your transformation will not understand your purpose, and this is not something you need to force. This is a natural part of the path. You are moving towards something higher, and often the best way to advance is to remain silent, focused on your process. If you allow yourself to be pressured by external forces to justify yourself, you will end up losing the chance to enjoy this precious moment for your growth. The most important thing is to trust in your process and in the decisions you are making. You do not need anyone's validation to follow your path. The choices you make are yours, and each step taken toward your purpose is part of a larger plan that you are being guided to follow. Moreover, often words are not enough to explain the depth of transformation that occurs within you. There are things you need to live, experience, and feel before someone else can understand. And this is something you must learn to respect. Your journey is yours, and there is no need to ask for permission or validation from those who are not on the same frequency as you. Therefore, the best attitude you can adopt is discretion. Do not feel the need to explain every step, every choice, or every movement you make. Instead, trust in your process. Allow yourself to evolve without the pressure of having to justify your actions. The universe, God, or the higher energy you follow, knows what it is doing, and the most important thing is that you continue to follow your truth without deviating due to external pressures. Your spiritual journey is a solitary but necessary walk. If you keep explaining yourself all the time, you will lose the strength you need to move forward. When you feel secure and confident in your choices, even without the approval of others, is when you truly start to advance to a new level of consciousness. Allow yourself to be discreet, respect your process, and trust that what you are experiencing is something profound and unique. You do not need explanations for those who are not ready to understand. It is very common when you start to realize that there is something more beyond the limited reality in which other people live. The world around you, where the majority follow a routine without questioning, is what we can call the matrix. Within this matrix, people are trapped in patterns, beliefs, and limitations that prevent them from seeing reality in its purest form. The matrix is a construction of social norms and expectations that keep everyone inside a box, without allowing them to truly explore their own potential or question the true laws of the universe. People who are still trapped in this narrow view of life cannot understand when someone decides to step out of their comfort zone and seek a deeper and more authentic reality. They are like puppets, driven by external forces that they do not question or challenge. When you begin to distance yourself from the matrix, naturally, you become a threat to those who are trapped in it. Your evolution, your growth, and your search for something greater become a reflection of what they often fear to confront: the truth about themselves. When people do not want to see the possibilities beyond their limited beliefs, they tend to project their insecurities and frustrations onto those who are evolving. This can result in judgments, criticisms, and attempts to diminish your light. It is important to understand that these reactions have nothing to do with you, but with their resistance to dealing with their own evolution. The criticisms, judgments, and even attempts to minimize your progress are merely manifestations of these people's internal discomfort. They are not prepared to see beyond what the matrix offers, and therefore prefer to try to pull you back so that you do not remind them of what they are avoiding to see about themselves. When you begin to live according to your true purpose, no longer trapped by the limitations that the world imposed, you automatically start to shine in a way that is hard to ignore. However, not everyone around you will be ready for this light. Those who are still within the matrix may feel threatened and will try to extinguish your light, as it makes them question their own lack of evolution. They may not understand why you no longer fit into social expectations, and this can create discomfort in them. At this moment, it is important that you do not let yourself be influenced by these external reactions. Your evolution is unique, and what the people around you think or say should not impact your journey. On the contrary, use this as fuel to move forward. Your growth is a reflection that you are on the right path, even if it bothers those who are trapped in a system of limiting beliefs. Remember that the matrix is an illusion. The limitations it imposes are not real, and you have the power to transcend them. The greatest challenge is not to be drawn back into this limited view of life. The more you distance yourself from the matrix and follow your own path, the stronger and more illuminated you become. And the more you shine, the more you will attract those who are ready to see the truth and walk with you towards something greater. As you advance on your journey of spiritual evolution, you will notice that many people around you will begin to fall behind. This may include friends, family, and even those you imagined would be by your side, walking with you at all times. This is one of the most challenging aspects of the Chosen One's journey, as often these people have been part of your life for so long. However, by following your path of growth, you begin to realize that in order to move forward, you need to leave some of these ties behind. The people around you may not have the capacity to keep up with the pace of your evolution or understand the internal changes you are going through. This does not mean that they are less valuable or important, but simply that they are in a different phase of their lives, with a different perception than yours. Sometimes the changes you are experiencing may seem confusing or uncomfortable to those who are still within the limits of the matrix. They may not comprehend your new focus, your new goals, or the renewed energy you are embodying. Detachment is an essential step in this process. It is not about rejecting anyone or stopping loving people, but about understanding that each human being has their own pace and path to follow. Not everyone is ready to walk with you at this new level of consciousness and understanding. Forcing these connections or trying to convince others of something they are not ready to understand will only generate frustration for both parties. The connections that are no longer aligned with your new reality will naturally drift away, and you need to learn to accept this. Detachment is not a negative thing. It is a process of healing and self-sufficiency. By releasing expectations about others and allowing people to follow their own paths, you create space for your own growth. This emotional freedom is crucial for you to move toward your purpose without distractions or ties that can prevent you from reaching your full potential. The more steps you take toward your future, the more you need to free yourself from what no longer serves your higher good. By detaching from old relationships or situations that no longer resonate with you, you create the necessary space to allow new experiences and new connections that will truly enhance your journey. Detachment does not mean that you have lost something. On the contrary, you are gaining more clarity, more freedom, and more alignment with who you really are. When you let go of what does not serve you, you create space for what is divinely aligned with your true purpose. Accepting this transition can be difficult, but it is a clear sign that you are evolving. Do not cling to something or someone that no longer resonates with the person you are becoming. Remember, your path is unique, and the people who are meant to be with you on this journey will arrive naturally at the right time. You have been chosen for something greater, something that goes beyond the limited expectations imposed by society. When you recognize your divine potential and understand that your path is unique, you can no longer live according to the standards or desires of others. Society often tries to shape you, making you fit into a box that limits your abilities. But you were made for something much more grand. Your purpose does not fit these predefined molds. True transformation begins when you recognize that you are here to achieve something meaningful, something that only you can accomplish. Do not be afraid to stand out. Many people feel uncomfortable with those who break away from the expected, from what is common. When you allow yourself to be who you truly are, without worrying about what others think, you begin to live in alignment with your divine purpose. It is important to realize that most people live within what we can call the matrix, a system of limitations and conformity. They follow a routine, a predictable path, because the comfort zone is all they know. They adapt to the system, even if it traps them in a life of mediocrity. When you begin to awaken to your true potential, you become a threat to this system. This can be uncomfortable for those who are not yet ready to question their own limitations. You, however, cannot allow yourself to be trapped. Change begins when you allow yourself to step out of your comfort zone. Your true power lies in being different, in being unique. The people who are trapped in the system will try to keep you in the same place, fearing your transformation. However, you are not here to adapt. You are here to change, to innovate, to expand. Do not let external expectations influence your decisions or your steps. You already have everything you need within you. Use your potential to move forward, no matter what others think or say. It is not about pleasing others, but about being true to what God has chosen you to do. True change only happens when you decide to be the leader of your own journey, not allowing anyone to determine your worth or limit your abilities. As you advance on your journey, a natural phenomenon begins to occur. The more you grow, the more the people around you may try to pull you down. This is not personal, but a reflection of the fear they have of your success and your change. The transformation you are experiencing may be uncomfortable for those who are still trapped in a life without evolution. They do not understand the process and the greatness of what is happening to you. Instead of understanding, they may react with criticism, judgment, or attempts to discredit what you are doing. It is important not to let this affect you. Instead of getting discouraged, use these reactions as fuel to keep going. Your progress does bother them, yes, but it is the proof that you are on the right path. Do not allow the insecurities of others to define your path or limit your vision. Your growth is a reflection of the internal work you have been doing and the choices you are making to live your divine purpose. This may generate discomfort, but know that you are exactly where you need to be. The people in the matrix, who live according to a system of limitations, will not understand what you are doing. They do not have the capacity to see beyond what is imposed on them. When you begin to change, they may criticize you, question you, or even try to demotivate you. But you do not need to explain anything to them. You should not feel guilty for growing or standing out. Your mission is not to please others, but to fulfill the divine purpose for which you have been called. Action speaks louder than words. Keep moving forward with confidence, without seeking external validation. Follow your path with faith and determination, knowing that every step you take is leading you to a new level of consciousness and success. Do not stop. The moment has come for you to understand that discretion will be one of your greatest allies. Throughout your journey, you will often feel the urge to share your progress, your achievements, or even your process of transformation with others. However, you do not need to explain yourself to anyone. Your journey and evolution speak for themselves. Your success will be evident, and as you grow, the people around you will notice it. Do not worry about others' opinions. This should not be a priority for you. The chosen one does not need to seek approval. The path of the chosen is often solitary, and this does not mean loneliness in a negative sense, but a focused journey without external distractions. However, along the way, you will see that discretion will allow you to keep your energy concentrated on what truly matters. What matters is your purpose, not what the world or the people around you think of you. People in the matrix, that is, those who live in accordance with a limited view of life, may not understand your journey. They may try to interfere, judge, or even minimize your growth. And this is normal. Do not let this shake you. What matters is your evolution. And if you choose to act discreetly, without trying to please or justify your choices, you will protect yourself from these distractions. The journey of the chosen is full of challenges, but at the same time, it is filled with silent and significant victories. Follow your path with confidence. Each step you take brings you closer to your destination. Discretion will help you move forward without looking back, without trying to convince others of your worth. You are already transforming, and the world around you will reflect that. But remember, true growth lies in inner peace, not in the external search for validation. Your purpose is more important than any obstacle, any criticism, or any external doubt. Life has levels, and you are rising to a new level. Stay true to yourself, to your process, and above all, to your purpose. The best is yet to come, and your path is already being laid out. Move forward with faith and confidence, and never forget, discretion is a powerful tool to protect your energy and advance with clarity. If you are experiencing this process and resonated with these words, share in the comments. What are you feeling at this moment in your journey? If you liked this video, follow the channel and stay tuned for more content about your evolution and awakening. The journey of the chosen one is unique, but we are all connected through it.